Have you ever sat beside someone you loved and still felt completely alone? Not because they were cruel, not because they ignored you, not because the relationship meant nothing. Maybe you were on the couch together, both looking at the same television, both tired from the day. Maybe their shoulder was touching yours. Maybe they even asked, "Are you okay?" And you said, "Yeah, I'm fine," because the honest answer felt too large to explain. You were not physically alone, but somewhere inside, there was a room they could not enter. That is one of the hardest truths about being human. We can be loved, chosen, hugged, texted, invited, wanted, and still carry a loneliness no other person can fully remove. We do not like admitting this, because it sounds like an insult to love. But it is not. Love matters. Friendship matters. Family matters. A good conversation can keep someone alive for one more night. A hand on your shoulder at the right moment can stop you from collapsing. A person who says, "I'm here," can become a small shelter in the middle of a storm. But love has limits. No one can live your life from inside your body. No one can feel your fear exactly the way you feel it. No one can carry your childhood in the same shape. No one can enter the private room where you meet yourself at 3 in the morning, when everyone else is asleep and the truth becomes loud. That is where a deeper loneliness begins. Many of us try to solve that loneliness by asking too much from relationships. We do not just want a partner. We want rescue. We do not just want closeness. We want the wound of being separate to disappear. So we enter love with an invisible request. Please make me whole. Please make me safe forever. Please understand every silence. Please know what I need before I say it. Please never disappoint me. Please become the home I lost before I had language for it. And at first, love may feel like it can do that. The beginning of a relationship can feel almost magical. Someone texts back quickly. Someone wants to see you. Someone notices small things. Someone makes the world feel less sharp. For a while you may think, "This is it. I am finally not alone." But eventually, real life returns. They get tired. They misunderstand you. They have their own fears. They fail to notice the thing you secretly wanted them to notice. They love you, but imperfectly. And suddenly the loneliness comes back, and you may think the relationship is broken. Maybe it is. Sometimes loneliness is a warning that we are being neglected, abandoned, or emotionally starved. That kind of loneliness deserves serious attention. If someone consistently ignores your pain, dismisses your needs, betrays your trust, or makes you smaller, the solution is not to romanticize the loneliness. The solution may be to protect yourself. But there is another kind of loneliness that appears even in good relationships. You can feel it after a beautiful dinner. You can feel it after laughing with friends. You can feel it beside someone who truly loves you when the conversation ends and you realize you still have to return to yourself. This loneliness does not always mean love has failed. Sometimes it means you are a separate soul. The danger is that we confuse connection with fusion. We think intimacy means there should be no distance, no mystery, no private sadness, no unanswered part of us. We imagine that if someone really loved us, they would erase every lonely place inside us. But real intimacy may be different. Maybe real intimacy is two separate people standing close enough to tell the truth, without pretending they can become one person. Think about the person who cannot be alone for even one evening. The moment the room gets quiet, they reach for their phone. They text someone they do not even want. They return to an old relationship that hurt them. They start a fight just to feel connected. They say they are looking for love, but sometimes they are looking for escape from themselves. That is how loneliness can make us desperate. A person who cannot tolerate loneliness may cling. They may control. They may forgive too quickly. They may confuse chaos with passion. They may call dependence love because the alternative feels unbearable. They may stay in the wrong relationship, not because the relationship is good, but because being alone feels like death. This is why learning to sit with loneliness is not cold or selfish. It is one of the foundations of healthier love. When you can sit alone without immediately panicking, you stop asking another person to save you from yourself. You stop turning love into a hospital. You stop making one human being responsible for healing every wound they did not create. And something surprising happens. You can love more honestly. You can look at another person and say, "I want you," without secretly meaning, "I cannot exist without you." You can miss someone without abandoning yourself. You can receive affection without demanding that it become proof that you are finally complete. Loneliness can become a doorway if we stop running from it. It asks uncomfortable but useful questions. Who am I when no one is watching? What do I believe when no one approves? What do I want when I am not trying to be chosen? What kind of person am I becoming in the silence? Most of us fear solitude because solitude removes the audience. Without the audience, we may discover that we have been performing a life more than living one. We may realize we only know how to be valuable when someone needs us, attractive when someone desires us, funny when someone laughs, strong when someone depends on us. But who are we when no one is clapping? That question can feel terrifying, but it can also return us to ourselves. Maybe loneliness is not always the enemy. Maybe sometimes it is the place where the performance ends and the real self begins to speak. This does not mean we should live isolated. Human beings need connection. We need friendship, touch, community, kindness, and people who remember our name. There is no wisdom in pretending we need no one, but there is also no freedom in needing someone so badly that we disappear. The right person can hold your hand. They can sit beside you in the dark. They can learn your patterns. They can listen with patience. They can make your life warmer, softer, less frightening. But they cannot become your soul. They can walk beside you, but they cannot walk inside you. And maybe love becomes more beautiful when we stop asking it to perform miracles it was never meant to perform. Maybe the goal is not to find someone who removes loneliness forever. Maybe the goal is to become someone who can be alone without self-hatred and connected without desperation. That is a quieter kind of strength, not the strength of needing no one, the strength of knowing that even with others, you must still have a self. Please put in the comments, when do you feel most alone, even when people are around you?